Hi, welcome. My name is Tracy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Australia. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're popping on live or if you are watching the replay, please say hi. I would love to know exactly who is watching. So, doesn't matter. I think this is my 5th Facebook Live, and hi Adam. And I'm still nervous, so I'll have to keep working through it, I think, but we'll get there. I'm just going to see if I can pop this page up on my other device just so I can see any comments. Oh, there we go. Beautiful. 2 people watching. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the Random Act of Kindness cards that I've received this week, and I was lucky enough to receive 2. And actually both are from America. One is from San Antonio, Texas, from Carol Alanis, and I've actually received cards from Carol before, so absolutely beautiful. And this one's really sparkly. I don't know whether you can see, the background is the shimmery white card and it's got a lot of sparkle to it. So absolutely beautiful, really citrusy colours there as well. Hi Marion, how are you? And the second one I received is from Deborah Smith, and she lives in Loganville, Georgia. And this is using one of the designer series papers that are retiring with the catalogue. So the catalogue that we have now, the annual catalogue, retires on the 3rd of June, and the 4th of June we have a brand new catalogue. So that's really exciting as well. So those are my 2 Random Act of Kindness for the week. And lovely. Now I want to actually go through all my YouTube videos that I have this week as well. So Tuesday I have the Caser catalogue. This is the last month where I'll be doing my casing on the Tuesday. I'm going to move it to the Thursday next month. So for Tuesday's case, I have chosen the Touches of Texture stamp set. This one is retiring. It's been really popular, and it's one that I've really enjoyed using as well. It's actually been cased from page 152, and it's a really beautiful, bright birthday card. I really was happy with that one. And for today's card, so just on my blog and YouTube channel this morning, we have another texture, or Touches of Texture card. It's a Thinking of You, and I really like this colouring. So we have bronze embossing powder, blackberry bliss, and crumb cake. So I've got to get the cameras right. So that is the card that is on my blog and video on my YouTube tutorial today. So check those ones out. If you haven't hit subscribe yet, you can do that. I have 2 videos every single week that come out for you. So excellent. And if you don't follow me, I also do on Facebook every Sunday, which I know a few people who will pop on and watch this later on. Also, follow me on YouTube, on Facebook, and we do a Sunday challenge. So each Sunday it's a different challenge, and for Sunday's just gone, it was to go through your, hi Christy, how are you? It was to go through your stash, because we are all hoarders, and I wanted to see what we were all hoarding. So how long ago your supplies have been sitting in your cupboard and you haven't used them. This was actually, it's called Sweet Sorbet, and I believe it might have been a free paper packet for Celebration. I think that was when I first joined. So I've been a demonstrator for 6 years, and not only did I have this designer series paper, I also had the embellishments that were also a free item. So I hadn't even used it. So I used 2 of these for this card. So absolutely amazing how much we stash and hoard our products. We need to use them. So that's what I'm planning on, either selling or using up some of my products. So, okay, so we've done those ones. The next thing that I wanted to talk about was the Hugs From Shelli kit. Now, this was a paper pumpkin only available in Australia for this month, for May. So we are almost to the end of May. So there's only today and tomorrow left of May. So you can only purchase this paper pumpkin kit. It's a 12-piece card kit. Everything's included, including glue dots and dimensionals. And it's only available till tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last time you can order it. So what we're going to do, I'm going to turn the camera around. I want to quickly show you how to make each of those 4 cards. So this might take a little while. They're pretty quick and easy cards, so hopefully it won't take too long. But I've also, hang on, let me just turn this around really quickly. There we go. So we're going to make each of the 4 cards in the paper pumpkin kit. So this one here, and let me just switch the camera around so you can see it in the right view. There we go. I have opened it up. I did show you quickly last week on my Facebook Live. So we're going to make these 4 cards here. And all the stuff is in there. It comes with ribbons and twines, the Stampin' Spot. I'm going to use just my normal size stamp ink pad, dimensionals and glue dots, and there's ribbon as well as all the embellishments. So I'm just going to bring this one out. They were my leftovers there. But I also want to quickly show you too, when I've made the 4 cards, I want to show you my alternatives. So I've made, I think there might be 24 alternative cards here, and I'm really happy to show you those. Now this kit also teams up with a new suite in our annual catalogue. Sorry, that just sounded funny then. And the suite that it goes so well with is the Free as a Bird suite. So there is a stamp set, a framelit dies, some beautiful lace trim, there's embellishments, and let me just bring those ones out. So there is keys, flowers and some bows, absolutely beautiful, and the designer series paper. Now the reason I wanted to show you these, because they all work so well. In that stamp set there is birds and feathers, and in the freest, oh hang on, actually I don't know whether that's called that, the Bird Ballad designer series paper, these 2 pieces actually really go well with the Hugs from Shelli. I'm having trouble speaking today, sorry. The paper kit. So I've actually made 2 cards using this designer series paper just to show you how well they go together. So the stamp is actually exactly the same as that designer series paper. And this one here, there is 2 bird stamps in the paper pumpkin kit, which is these 2 here, and they match perfectly with this designer series paper as well. So let's get these ones out of the road. And the kit actually uses pretty much all the stamps. Now that might show a bit better, except for 3, and, love, and that little and as well. So you can make alternative cards with those stamps as well. Okay, so I'm going to start off, let's make this one first. I'm going to bring in the recipe, and for this one we're going to use the splatter stamp. I'm also going to bring in the early espresso, and we have all our little pieces here. I've pulled them all out so I didn't use them in my alternatives. So we're going to stamp the splatter just down the bottom, along that bottom of the card, just to give it a little bit of extra depth, I believe. There we go. And the sentiment that we're using for this one is Hugs for You. So that's 2 stamps. Let me get the hugs. So we're going to stamp the hugs first. Now the good thing is you can do this any way you like. You could make all of the cards exactly the same as the kit. It doesn't matter. Or you can step them up a little bit. So let's put in that For You under there. Excellent. Okay, so I'm going to bring in some dimensionals, and I'm going to pop, and I'm just going to use my normal size dimensionals. I haven't used the ones that are in the kit. They're actually using the small ones, so let's get the small ones out. we go. So I'm going to pop up each of those flowers. So there's 2 flowers, a single flower and then also a double flower. I'm going to pop them straight down onto that label. So one up there. I'm interested, did anyone purchase this kit? Okay, so the next thing we have is just some of that pink twine, and I'm just going to do a couple of loops, cutting that off. Okay, I'm going to just bring in some tear and tape just to secure that twine down really quickly. I really love the colours that Shelli has picked for this kit. Okay, so let's put some dimensionals down as well. I actually want to use some big ones. I'm going to stick one on each side, so that should be covered pretty well, yeah. 2 on this side, and I'm going to stick 1 in the middle. Yep. Just making sure each time that they are covered. Christy, you didn't buy the kit. Okay. I will admit, before I went over to Orlando last November, I bought a few kits from a demonstrator, and then I picked them up when I went to Orlando. And I think these kits are absolutely wonderful. I think, you know, they're great for beginners, they're great for people who already craft but are time poor. I think they would do really well here in Australia. I think if you were more of an avid crafter and only an avid crafter, it probably wouldn't suit you, but okay, so I think that's the first one there, so let's pop that to the side. Let's get the next one. So it's the other pink one, and so I'm going to need not sure where I've popped that little embellishment. Okay, I won't be able to put the embellishment on. I've got the embellishment somewhere, but it's just lost at the moment. So we have the label, and for this one we've got the sentiment, hello friend. So let's stamp that one. So hello is by itself, over towards the right. Now friend is a stamp that says dear friend, so I'm just going to ink up on the ink pad just friend, just like that, stamping that one down. Christy said, I do like the blues and have seen some alternate cards, may be tempted. Yeah, well, you're time poor at the moment, so this is perfect to get a little crafting done as well. Okay, so that's all ready to go, and I didn't stamp that very well, did I? Let's see if I can fix that. Yeah, time poor is not always good as a crafter, and I probably shouldn't have done that, but anyway, all good. So with this one, we're going to also use that pink twine, and we're going to pop some around the card, and that looks like it's around twice. So around the card twice, and then tied at the front. The blues are really pretty. It's very, very feminine, but I think even with the male cards, also you can make masculine cards with them, even though they're a feminine sort of colour. So I'm just going to tie, see if I can do this properly. tie a little bow, bring that back in a little. And this ribbon's actually quite stretchy. It's got a little bit of give to it. You can see that. A little bit of a bow. It's typical baker's twine though. It doesn't sort of, it gets all twisted around a little. Okay. Take a little bit of that off the edges. Even that in itself I think is an absolutely gorgeous little note card. Okay, so we're going to just pop this one up with some dimensionals. I'm going to have dimensionals everywhere on my desk in a minute. I put them down and I can never find them again. So when I find that little embellishment, the bird embellishment, that'll go on there, and that's that card done. The next one is the more masculine of the four, and this is really pretty paper. It's the old dictionary style background with some blue sputterings. So we've got a bit of balmy blue, and it's almost like the old island indigo, but I believe it's a watered down version of the pretty peacock, so really pretty. So this one here we're going to use with the bird stamp. I'll get rid of that pink. And we're going to bring in those two birds. So it's these two here. And I'm going to stamp this one first, just up here like that. And then I'm going to bring that other bird stamp in, and we're going to stamp him twice. So one over here. I wasn't sure how the early espresso would actually go with this kit, but it's really pretty. It's better than if we used Memento. It's sort of just blends in so much nicer. So the label is going to have grateful for you. So let's bring that one in. Here's the grateful. So really great sentiments in this kit. Oh, that stamp's dirty. Anyway. And the for you. And for this one, we're also going to bring in some tear and tape, and I'm going to run a strip of tear and tape just along the card. And we're going to bring in that pretty peacock, which is one of the new in colours. If you haven't seen the catalogue yet, this is one of the new in colours. It's so pretty. And I want to just cut off one edge. You can use the glue dots that are in the kit if you don't have tear and tape at home. I just find tear and tape works so much better. And I'm going to cut off this end as well. Now our little feather there is going to go on the edge of our card, and we're using the glue dots, so I might actually bring in their glue dots. The glue dots that come in the kit aren't as nice as like our normal glue dots that we get in our catalogue. Let me just show you. These ones here. These ones are a little bit bigger. So oh, here it is. So I can put that one on the card in a second. Put another couple of these down. Now I just haven't figured out how to use these quite as easily as our other ones. So that's going to go down along all fingers, just like that. So that's holding one glue dot down. And I'm going to pop this one up with a couple of dimensionals. Taking our backings off. How cold has the weather been? The last 2 days have been freezing. Okay, so I want that about there, I'd say. I'm going to have to move this up a little. There we go. And that's not even straight. Then we're going to bring in that, it's like linen thread. I'd say it's linen thread. It seems a little more different to the linen thread. I might actually at the end of it just show you the linen thread, just to show you the difference. So I'm going to pop this around a couple of times. We're going to tie off just at that end of the feather there. Let's do a little bow. Even though it's a more masculine card, we can still put a bow on. Don't think it matters too much, does it? And I tend to fuss a little bit with bows, but that's pretty good. I can tie my little edges, I'll cut my little edges off. And there's our third card, so that's pretty quick. Oh, you're heading to netball training. Is it outside? If it's outside, I don't know whether I'd want to go. Today's been cold, but at least we've had the sun out slightly. I think to be going outside in the cold, in the dark, outside, that'd be terrible. At least the girls would be running around, I suppose. Maybe, oh, you do netball training too, so you're probably running around, so it won't be too bad. I don't know, it's still too cold. So I'm going to just pop this one down. They have it going that way. Oh, that's pretty. That really sets that card off beautifully. Okay, so let's do the last one. It is the second blue one that we have. And the last design. And that's pretty all by itself, isn't it? And for this one we have the sentiment that says, thank you, dear friend. So I'm going to bring the thank you in. Hopefully that's a clean stamp. Yep. And so we've only inked up the friend on this one before. I love the sentiments in this. It's a really great set for the sentiments. Lovely. And then we're also bringing in the flower stamp because we're going to stamp down the flower, but I might bring in the tear and tape first. I'm going to stick my Pretty Peacock ribbon down, and they've got 2 rows of the Pretty Peacock ribbon. I'll stick one down there, another one just underneath it. Take our backings off. See, yep, I take that means that you're going out netball training for yourself, Christy. I do not envy you at all. Way too cold to be running around. Okay, so we have the angle cut on this one already. I'm going to pop this one down and just cut off. And then I'm going to do the second one straight underneath. That wasn't really cut off at much of an angle, was it? Let's cut that off a little bit more. And this ribbon is exactly like the, what was it, Rich Razzleberry, was it? We had 2 of these in the catalogue previously. Just trying to think. I think it might have been Rich Razzleberry and Tranquil Tide maybe, I'm not 100% sure. But it's the same ribbon, but this one's Pretty Peacock. So I'm going to just try and work out where this is going to be for my flowers to be stamped down. So I know it's going to be around there. And then this one here is going to be done the same way. I'm going to stamp about there. I've actually stamped on the ribbon as well, but that's okay. It's I just want it down along the edge. So I can get rid of this ink pad. I think that's all the inking there is. I'm going to bring in some dimensionals for the backing of the sentiment. I'm going to bring the big ones in. And we're using some of the die cuts as well. I've just smudged the sentiment. Oh, it's an error of... Great video tonight, sorry ladies. I've just stuffed that sentiment. I'll try and fix that. So we have our little die cut that's been die cut out, and we're going to stick a little bit of... Let's get rid of some of this stuff. I'm going to put a little bit of the tear and tape on the back because I'm going to do some little loops behind there with the linen thread. I'll just bring a length out. And I just want a couple of little loops. They don't have to be very big or anything special. Okay. I'm wondering, I might stick mine on this side. They've got it on this side here, but that'll cover up those marks. So I'm going to stick a couple of dimensionals on the back there, and that'll save me on that card. Everything could be going well, but as soon as it goes live, everything goes wrong. It does for me anyway. And that's our last card from that kit. So if you were to make the whole kit up, you could make 3 each of these cards. So I'll clean up really quickly. And then we'll bring those 4 in. Okay, so we have this one here that we just did. This one. And that little embellishment just absolutely sets the card off. The more masculine one. And this one here. Which, the one that we made at On Stage, and I've been showing you, we didn't actually stamp these little dots down the bottom on that card. Okay, so now let's bring in the alternatives that I've made. So some are very basic. So this is really basic. Well, I've just done stamped the sentiment, popped down the lovely feather and pop that straight down onto the card. So quick and simple. Then we have this one. And this piece here is actually one of the envelopes that I've cut down. So in a few other cards, I've actually cut the envelopes down, and this is the backing of the envelope. And I've made this one. This one is also one of the cards that have been cut down. And that's really pretty with the pinks and blues. Straight one of the cards, and like I said before, you can team this with the Bird Ballad, or Free as a Bird stamp set. Yeah, Free as a Bird stamp set. And that one's just made with one of the labels cut down. You have a quick and simple one there. another one. And this is using the framelits that are in the bundle with the Free as a Bird stamp set. Another one here, and these come out of the Free as a Bird stamp set, so you can certainly just use this stamp here and cut those flowers down. That would work as well. So just wanted to show you inside the envelopes. I've used these ones as well as this piece here. So this one here, the blue, actually comes from this part of the envelope. So I have a few of the envelopes there that I've kept intact for these cards. Moving on. So an envelope that's been cut down and made into a normal card. Hi Jeanette. No, it's all right, don't worry, it doesn't matter that you're late, you can watch the replay later on. I'm just showing you some of my alternative cards. So we have this one here that's using the piece of the card. Another one using the envelope as a card. So these are all really quick and easy cards. They're nothing overly amazing. It's just using some of the kits. So another one that's using a cut down envelope, and I really like that with the crumb cake background. One that's using the designer series paper from the Bird Ballard designer series paper and using the stamps in the kit. This one here has been coloured in with the stamping blends. The colours are Petal Pink, and this has actually been coloured in with the Petal Pink stamping blends, so that's that one. This one's using some of that gorgeous ribbon in the background. It's got some lovely texture to it, and again, a piece that's been cut off the envelope. This one I really like. This is parts of the envelope cut down, and I've just added a bit of very vanilla cardstock in there as well. One from the Free as a Bird stamp set, teamed up with just the front of that card. Another one of those feather embellishments, and I've just used the feather stamp as the background stamp. So I've kept mainly with the blues and the pinks just to make it easier for everyone. We've stamped a couple of times that flower stamp, and I've just stamped onto the Petal Pink cardstock, cut those ones out and popped them on top. And this is the nested label dies from that bundle as well, and the designer series paper from the Bird Ballad. So I've been able to team these up really easily. This one is embossed in white embossing powder in the background, and I really like this one. And the other thing I really want to show you is this one here. I've actually made that when you cut out, or when you punch out the labels, it comes in this sheet, and all I've done is I've just cut out and around a couple of these, and then I've attached it down onto, for this one I've touched it down onto crumb cake. So it's a great way of using something that you probably would throw away, but this has got a lot of silver background that is perfect to be able to cut down and make into something else. So I was really happy that I was able to make that. Another one with the gorgeous feathers background, and this has been embossed in white as well, with just a little bit of that pretty peacock ribbon. More of that pretty peacock ribbon, and this is the other half that I've cut down from that previous card, and I've just stamped the thank you in the background. So I really like this. Is just made into a little bow, so just to make it really regal looking, I think. Another quick one that's just been stamped in the background, and I've coloured it in with the Old Olive Stampin' Blends and the Pool Party Blends. So yeah. And the last one that I've got to show you is this one here, and like I said before, this is the designer series paper, and I've just stamped those feathers in the background and coloured them in with Calypso Coral and not Garden Green, Old Olive with the Stampin' Blends, and popped on a little sentiment as well. So hopefully you've enjoyed all those cards. They are really quick and simple cards. There's not a lot to them, but hopefully it gives you a little bit of an idea of what you can do with the kit. If you haven't already purchased it, you really have to get in and grab it before, like, tomorrow is the last day. So I'm just going to flick you back round to the front, 1 second. And there we go. So I'm really happy that you've all joined in, and I really appreciate your time. Sorry that I've stuffed up a little bit, but it's live, so my nerves sometimes get in the way a little bit. Thanks, Christy, so much for popping in. Okay, until next time, I'll be back on Thursday, so I'm not sure what I'm going to have planned for you, but I'll have something really exciting. Okay, thank you again, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.